Do you want to hear the strangest radio broadcast never transmitted? It was recorded, and those involved seemed damn positive that it was broadcasting somewhere, but it certainly wasn't anywhere it should have been. All the local listeners reported nothing but crackling and hissing noises when they manually inputted the station's number after being automatically kicked from the station. For whatever reason, midway through their show, they lost connection. I'll let you know when that divide happens. For now, I want to express the unease I have towards transcribing this. When the radio station cut out, people were still calling in, people who shouldn't have been able to hear the hosts. I don't have an explanation, so I'm giving the gift of this problem to all of you. The radio broadcast begins normally enough. The sounds of a few swooshes, incorporating a powerful, pleasant voice, announced what station the audience was tuned into. After a few moments of silence, the perky host popped up onto the show. Welcome back to JJ and Jesse, the only local radio station bringing you local news and music. I'm JJ, and next to me, as always, is Jesse.
Hey there, everyone.
So I've got to ask, Jess, what do you think of the supernatural?
You mean like ghost stories?
Well, like anything. UFOs, demons, evil spirits, things that'll suck the blood from your veins.
Well, I think people definitely think they see things, that's for sure.
But you don't believe in them?
No, not really. I mean, I have heard my friends tell stories, but I guess those supernatural things just aren't attracted to me.
Thunder rumbled into life with the press of an effects button. JJ's voice became dark and mischievous, channeling energy from old horror movie hosts. Well, we'll see about that, Jess. I've actually got some fun stuff planned for us tonight.
What do you mean?
I mean, I've got details about something truly evil lurking around these parts.
Like a monster?
Nope. Try something a little more sinister.
And what could that be?
A haunted phone number. It supposedly dials straight down to hell. More thunder crashed into the audio. JJ gave a villainous laugh when an audible grumble came from Jesse.
Oh God, seriously?
Come on, Jess. Where's your Halloween spirit?
It's April, okay? I left my Halloween spirit back in October.
You must not be fun at parties. Here's an insider tip. She's not.
Stop it, Jay.
Then prove me wrong. Dial up the number, and let's take this puppy for a ride.
Alright. What's the number?
Let's see. It's 845-354-9912.
That's not even a local area code, Jay.
Oh, just call it.
Alright, I'm dialing. Oh no.
What is it? JJ had his attention captivated by Jesse, and a brief silence filled the broadcast.
It said, your call cannot be completed as dialed.
The sound of both JJ and Jesse laughing are heard before a thick wave of interruption rockets their recording. Their laughs become distorted and distant, slowed to a fraction of what they were, then quickly sped up and multiplied. Everything after this point was off air. The laughing subsided, and both hosts returned to normal, as if nothing had happened. Well, that's a bust. But good old JJ never comes unprepared. We've got local legends, paranormal pests, and creepy crawlies, all lined up for tonight's show.
And for any of you non-believers out there like me, strap yourselves in and indulge in JJ's imagination for a while. I know it'll be rough, but hang in there pretty tight. We do have some really cool stories for you.
First things first, before we take our break, we challenge all of you out there to dial that number and tell us what you heard. The number once again is 845-354-9912. Now enjoy the music while we take a quick break. For several minutes, silence is recorded. I have to specify the oddity of this fact. All of the microphones at the station were never switched off, yet there were no sounds for several long minutes. No chairs scruffling the floor, no drinks being moved on the wooden table, nothing. It was almost like everything just stopped for a minute. Then it cuts back in. Welcome back. I'm JJ.
And I'm Jessie.
Now, Jessie, I heard you stepped out to your car during break, and something happened.
Well, no, I wouldn't say something happened. It just felt weird. I know it's late at night and it's supposed to be dark outside, but besides our parking lot lights and the lit windows of our building, I couldn't see anything else out there. Even the suburbs a few miles down were completely dark.
Sounds spooky. I'm sure it's just a power outage. Luckily for us, our station doesn't seem to be affected. So all of you listeners at home, or in your cars, can continue to hear my beautiful voice.
Well, that's not all, Jay.
What do you mean?
I mean, I know it's just a feeling, but I felt like the air was just wrong. It felt muggy and stale. Everything just felt dead. Oh, God. These stories are going to give me a freaking panic attack.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I've actually got some callers on the line ready to go. All of these names are listed as unknown, so I'd like to give a shout out to our technical support guy Ryan for really going above and beyond for these call screenings. Hell of a job, Ryan. I know you can hear me in the back room. Anyway, let's get started with caller number 1. Welcome to JJ and Jessie. What stories have you got for us? Several sizzles and sputters respond to JJ on the other end of the line. Are you close to your radio? We'll need you to step away from it in order to hear you. The sputters get worse, becoming more and more organic. A clicking noise began to appear under the tones of meaty chatter, soft at first, then rapidly becoming louder, like an insect screeching at the top of its ability. A loud click is heard silencing the noises from the other end of the phone. Well, alright then. I'm gonna have to end that call there. Weird stuff. Let's try unknown caller number 2. Welcome, unknown caller.
Hello?
Hey, welcome to the show. Where are you calling from?
I'm on your roof.
I'm sorry, what?
Your antenna is so tall.
Well, that's enough of that caller. Another click is heard as JJ ends the call abruptly.
Jay, this is really starting to freak me out. Can we please move on to a different topic?
We've got one more caller, then we can move on. Welcome, caller.
You don't have enough time.
Time for what?
There's not enough time. There's not enough time.
A loud screech sounds off during the recording, sharp enough to cut right into the listeners' skulls. What the hell was that? JJ shouted, his hearing impaired and muted.
Jay, I think someone just broke the window out front. I'm gonna call the cops.
The sound of Jessie's chair toppled over, lending its way to a muffled slam on the door. Ryan, what's going on out there? JJ yelled out, sounding horrified, terror leading the way in his voice.
Oh fuck, Jay, look!
Ryan, get the fuck away from that window! Jay seemed erratic, dismay consuming him. Then a symphony of splintering glass erupts itself onto the tape. Ryan, what's wrong with you? Jesus, your head, what have you done? A shriek comes from Jessie as her voice trails further from the microphone.
What the fuck was that? It took Ryan. It pulled him right out the goddamn window.
The sound of sputtering equipment and bursting power cords filled the audio before a voice begins speaking. We're both on the roof now. He doesn't fit onto the antenna. A distorted voice chirped up from the crackling nearby radio equipment. Jessie, did you reach the cops?
No, nothing's dialing through. 911 just keeps telling me the call cannot be completed as dialed. This doesn't sound right, Jay. Something is wrong.
Use the landline. We need to get out of here.
Jay was breathing heavily, his voice changing in pitch as he quickly looked over his shoulder away from the microphone.
I'm getting the same answer except quicker. Jay, look at the window.
You're out of time.
The familiar sounds of 3 increasingly high-pitched beeping tones finishes the broadcast as if an out-of-service phone number had been dialed. That noise signaled the end of the broadcast. 76 hours of impossible silence followed the recording. The police investigated the station and turned off all the equipment less than 24 hours after JJ and Jesse's disappearance. Besides this audio clip, nothing else was out of the ordinary. All the windows were intact. No signs of forced entry was found, and the parking lot cameras revealed nothing except that Jessie had never left the building to check on her car. Ryan Stevens, James Jackson, and Jesse Walters all disappeared that night without a trace.